Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Duty Diagnosed, a podcast where we discuss all things mental health related. So today we've got Rehona Corals in the studio. Welcome, Rehona.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you very much for agreeing to do this.
Thank you for having me.
Cool. All right, so Rehona, you have had some addiction problems, right?
Sam, sure. How far back do you want me to go?
Up to you, hey. Let's start. Let's start with your childhood. Let's start there.
Yeah. Well, I think that's where it started.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, it wasn't with the crack and heroin. That was the end of the line.
Okay.
Yeah, so I definitely think food was definitely a problem.
Okay.
Right, like quite early on.
What sort of age?
I think standard 5. I was kind of chubby. And then standard 6 happened, and when standard 6 happens, especially with girls, like it's puberty and boobs and all that other shit that goes along with it, which doesn't help with the emotional balance.
Okay.
I don't think. And then I think I used food as a soothing, coping kind of mechanism.
Okay. What was it, like an eating disorder?
Oh, no, I wasn't puking it up. No.
Okay.
Kind of like the crack, didn't share it. Only ate it once.
Okay.
No, it was more
Just overeating. Okay.
Yeah, more overeating than,
See.
not like, yeah, it wasn't undercover eating or sneaky eating or hiding peas or, it was just, like the emotions I was having, I was eating away.
What sort of emotions? What were you like?
I think it was confusing. I think I'd gone from standard 5 where I was kind of all right, popular, not small school, it was Arbor, we were all friends, to standard 6 to Benoni High, which was huge, and I was overweight, and there were like all different schools joining together, so I wasn't popular like I was at Benoni High, at Arbor, and yeah, it was kind of that whole switch up from just a complete big fish, small oceans, that kind of shit. And then yeah, the food was definitely a thing.
Okay. Well, it helped you feel better about yourself.
I can't remember making it making me feel better about myself, because I was getting more and more overweight, and I was getting more and more uncomfortable with being in my own skin.
Okay.
But I can't remember eating and being like, oh yes, now I feel better. I do remember being overweight and being like, oh shit, I feel terrible.
Okay.
I'm not good enough. It was a boys thing, and friends thing, and PMS thing, and boobs thing, and now I'm 13, and I think I've had to apologize to my mom a couple of times for being a teenager.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I was nice. Okay. I think it was a terrible fucking piece. I think I was terrible.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
In what sense, though? What, like?
I don't think I was my mom. I don't think I was a nice little girl.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember being a nice. I can't remember being nice.
Okay.
Like a nice daughter. Like I wasn't.
I mean, is that how you felt, or is that how sort of like other people sort of was it other people reacting to you that sort of makes you feel that that's what was going on?
It's more from memory.
Yeah.
Like I remember my sister and I once fighting about who was going to sit in the front on the way to school, and my mom's like quite a peaceful, she's not that. And we were driving down the road, and we were fighting, and eventually my mom like slammed on brakes, skid onto the side of the road, got out the car, opened the back door, and slapped me. So like I don't think that happens. That's definitely a build-up of behavior that like she's just like, dude, I can't handle this thing anymore.
Okay.
I'm gonna kill it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna leave it here at the graveyard, and I'm just gonna take the other kid to school.
Okay.
So I can't, I don't think shit like that happens if you're a nice kid. Like
Okay.
if you're, like little outdoor hippie child with no shoes on and riding horse and,
Yeah.
you know, quite free with life and has no issues. I don't think I was. I think I was. I want to say angry.
Like disagreeable.
Oh, disagreeable is like a really nice word. I think I was more than that.
Okay.
I think everything they said I went up against. No,
Yeah.
don't do this. No, I will.
Okay.
You know, like I think I was that kid.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, there's like this, it's called I don't remember the exact term, but there's these, the big 5 personality traits, right? And one of them is disagreeableness. And a subcategory of that is, you know, on a spectrum of politeness. So
I wasn't.
So if you,
it was like a 0.
not polite at all.
At
Okay.
all, yeah.
All right. Okay. And then sort of moving forward from that, sort of when did the drugs sort of start coming onto the scene?
No. Okay, so that was standard 6, standard 7. It was still the food. There were no, you know, drugs.
I mean, I relate to standard 6 and 7 being like
fucking terrible.
like horrible. Sure.
Fucking a shit show.
Yeah, it wasn't cool.
I can't remember. Find me somebody who enjoyed standard 6 and 7.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that's where we all started drinking and eating.
It seemed like the other kids that I was around like weren't, you know, they were having a good time.
I don't know. I disagree with that. Like
Okay.
I hear a lot of people be like, a lot of people are like, especially in the program, they when
So
they
you're talking about 12-step
yes,
program, okay?
yeah, AACA, whatever works for you.
Talk about feeling special and different.
Yeah, like you know, like when a lot of them start their shares with like, you know, when I was young, I felt very uncomfortable and like nobody that I didn't fit in. I personally think the entire universe didn't fit in at that age.
Yeah,
you know,
makes
like,
sense, yeah.
you know, like who felt okay. Even
Going through those changes.
Going through those changes, and it's hormonal, and it's boys, and it's like
rough time.
yeah. I don't think anybody has whether you're from a privileged family or not, or you know, whatever your environment is, whatever school you went to, whatever your friend situation was. I don't think any. You know, like I don't think
perfectly comfortable.
yeah, because I was uncomfortable in standard 6. Now I'm a junkie. I don't put the two together.
Okay.
Because I think all of us were as uncomfortable as hell
Okay.
in those changing, you know, when everything was changing like that. My path just took me along the addiction route.
At what stage?
Again, I think the food was, if I have to look at addiction, I think the food was definitely a coping, soothing, eat my emotions away. I think that's where it started. Standard 6 standard 6 I was still trying to wipe the shit out of my eyes. Standard 7, standard 8, then the friend thing started settling down and we kind of all found where we fitted in or didn't fit in and the parties started happening and the drinking started happening. It wasn't I mean, it was more like binging, really, drinking. You know, it wasn't, it's like go to a party and have a couple of drinks, didn't enjoy the shit, still don't. You know, if you put them all in front of me, it's not the first thing I'm going to pick up. But did drink, did get drunk, did start smoking in that standard 7, standard 8 age. Yeah, because I still got bus smoking at Benoni High. Mrs. Weber wanted to kick my ass out. Well, she did, because then I went to Castan.
Okay.
Yeah. So, well, she didn't. It wasn't official, but it was close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so school challenging. I mean, how were you? I mean, did you do well at school?
Oh no, Benoni High was a shit show. Like,
Oh, yeah?
my report looked like a Christmas tree. It had more rings on it. It was like,
Shit. Okay.
yeah, no, it didn't.
Did you get your matric?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about the first time that you. Okay, so you got stuck into booze, the usual sort of like going to parties, drinking,
Yeah.
kind of not really sort of an addiction as such yet. At what point did it start getting rough?
matric holiday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, matric holiday.
What, did you get stuck into other substances?
It was the first time I smoked a joint on
Okay.
matric holiday.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fucking fabulous.
Okay.
Yeah, on the beach, stoned out of my mind. It's
Okay.
great.
And then what happened? You stuck to it?
I preferred smoking weed to drinking. I didn't enjoy booze.
Okay.
I definitely preferred the weed.
You know what's so interesting is I watched this talk, or we had a talk at ARC on genetics
Yeah.
and substance use disorder, right?
Yeah.
And alcoholism's got a 50%, 50% of the time you can safely say that it's a genetic issue, right?
Okay.
With cannabis, it's like, I think it's like less than 5%, something ridiculous.
God
where
damn it!
it's
So
genetic.
I can't blame my family.
Yeah, sure. So it's like
Shit.
it's environmental, in fact, eh?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
so,
that makes sense. My China's.
mm,
So my whole group of friends changed because my best friend, she's Italian, so she loved her wine,
okay.
and cheeses and shit.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Didn't. I did drink, but it was like ugh, had to, I definitely preferred weed.
Okay.
Yeah, so my whole friend circle kind of changed after matric.
So so you started smoking a bit of weed, and I mean, like, not too many unmanageable circumstances, or was weed like causing a problem for you?
Oh no,
Okay.
I don't think No, I don't think so at all.
Okay.
It was, I don't think I was smoking because I had issues. I think I was smoking to be cool,
Okay.
to fit in with the friends I was with,
Okay.
because I preferred it to drinking. It was more of an environmental, social.
Peer pressure kind of thing.
I think I'm the girl that
Yeah.
has the pressure.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm the
okay.
bully.
Okay.
No, I don't think it's the other way around. Like,
Okay.
I don't think I've ever been pressured.
You do the pressuring,
I'm the problem.
Okay. So okay, cool. So and all right, like, so when did how many rehabs have you been to?
Oof. I've lost count.
Really?
So I think when I was 21 for
21.
cocaine.
Okay,
Yeah.
for cocaine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it escalated real quick.
Jeez,
You can
yeah.
put that together.
Okay.
And
What was that? Your decision?
oh no, is it ever when you're 21? It's like,
Okay.
it's the last thing. What do you mean I must stop? No.
Okay.
It was more of a my parents were about it, like didn't know what the hell.
Well, what were you? I mean, were you stealing shirts? Or?
21. Which one was that? Probably. I mean, I've always had yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not the cash crusaders go and sell shit kind of girl.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm more white collar.
Okay.
forward.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was 21. What happened? Why did I go to rehab when I was 21? Oh yeah, I did. I stole a lot of money,
Okay.
and I had a boyfriend who physically and mentally abused me, and then died.
Drug related?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. He was smoking crack, and we were at Bakabong, and he stole my car to go buy some more, and rolled it, and then died. And then the bank manager came and told my dad that there was a couple of bob missing out of his account. And then about 900K in 9 months.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And then that's what the bank manager could find. The dead boyfriend was taking cash as well.
Okay.
So I think he killed himself because he'd beaten me up. I couldn't see out of my eyes. I couldn't see him at the funeral. And obviously knew about the amount of money we'd stolen. And so he put that together, and he was suicidal. I mean, like he used to work for my dad as well, which was a bit of a. I mean, I used to wake up in the mornings and he used to stay here as well. And then you could smell the petrol on him. He'd siphon petrol out of the car and try to set himself alight. Totally nuts. But you know, like, yeah. So yeah, that was when I was 21. Then obviously the bank manager popped in and was like, "Listen, there's a problem, yeah." And then I went to rehab. That was my first rehab. And then, so it's been 20 years of drug abuse. And I reckon every 2 years I pull a move. I need to go sort the body out somewhere.
What do you mean?
So like, I can go to like the first rehab I went to, I pulled a 28-day Sandra Bullock style. I remember the first lecture was only 1% of you are going to make it. I'm like, yes, I'm part of the 1%. That was me done. 28 days or not, 28 days later, got out of there. I think I stayed clean for a bit, done the whole funeral thing, couldn't see shit. Stayed away from all those friends. And then I'd started smoking crack with Dudley, with the dead dude. I don't know what you want me to call him. And then, and I enjoyed it. Like, I hate cocaine. I think it's disgusting. It makes me, I can't handle it. I prefer the crack. So, like, it's weird. Like, I didn't, like, from the weed and the booze to the only reason I snorted cocaine was we were out one night and I was totally wasted and we couldn't go home. Whenever I went home, and we weren't allowed to sleep out, so we had to go home every night. I had to go upstairs and kiss my parents hello. And if my dad could smell the booze on me, it's going to be a shit show. Like couldn't get home drunk. So the cocaine cured that. So, but I never enjoyed it. But it got me to sober up and drive home. It was a bit of I used to walk in the house high as a kite, but not drunk.
Yeah.
The logic doesn't really. So that's how the cocaine started. But I didn't like it. And the guys that I was with, they used to smoke crack, but would never let me smoke. Never let me smoke. I had to mission to go get it. Was never allowed to use it. Never understood why. Again, like the same thing when I was little. Don't say no and don't tell me I can't, because now I want to know why. So I think one night it was like 3 a.m. in the morning. I had to drive to Ponty to go get the next, because it was my turn. And we'd had a fight, and I was coming through Orange Grove on the way home, and I used to drive an old 280 SE, and I opened the sunroof and I hit that crack pipe. And that was the start of the crack. That's been the most constant of the 20 years of abuse.
Okay.
Yeah. Out of all of them. That's the one if you put them on the table, I'd pick up. Yeah.
You said you have to sort the body out every 2 years. What do you mean? Like,
so, if I took the 20 years of abuse, I reckon it's been about 10 rehabs. Minimum. I think it might be more. Like some rehabs were long term. I think 2 or 3 were long term. Like 6 months, 9 months, 11 months, that kind of long term. The rest were all normal 28-day Sandra Bullock style ones.
What's the longest period you've been clean?
5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
When was that?
2013.
To 2017,
18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what happened? The wheels came off, eh?
It properly came off, yeah. Like not even like a little bit came off. Like it was just a complete downward spiral. Like it was. I didn't actually want to. I think I wanted to die. Actually, I just didn't. I was like done. Like not only like I've relapsed like. After a couple of months and the 6 months, 9 months, I don't think I can't remember if it pulled a year. The one rehab made me stay there quite long, so it could have pulled a year. But it's easy to stay clean in rehab. I mean, that's
Mm.
you know, unless of course there's a township next to you and you ask them for weed. Yeah, it's easy to stay. It's got walls around you. What was I saying?
You're talking about
The wheels falling off in 2018. I don't know why they fell off. I've tried to.
You mentioned a number of times that relationships kind of are a challenge for you. Could it have been something to do with that?
Yeah. I'd gotten together with somebody in the rooms.
In a 12-step fellowship.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, and we'd been together for 5 years, and
so you were together the 5 years that you were clean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was suggested that you don't, that I didn't. But again, I thought I was clever, and so I picked an alcoholic.
But you guys stayed clean and sober together for the 5 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. It's built up everything together: house, car, jobs, dog, family, everything solid as fuck. Everything was great. Everything, like, I couldn't ask for anything more. Like, I'd gotten my life back. It was exactly what I wanted. And I don't know what happened. Like, I'm still to this day trying to sift through where the wheels, because the wheels don't. I mean, I can remember the day that the wheels did fall off. It was I think it was a Friday afternoon or morning, and I went to Webb Street to go to the dentist, and I was like, no, don't give me the Novocaine. I'll have the happy gas,
Okay.
which is the worst thing to give a crack and heroin addict. I think by the time they hadn't started giving me the oxygen yet to counteract the happy gas, I wasn't even out of the chair yet, and I decided that I was going to go use. This is after 5 years of, I think I could count the amount of Panados I had in my body. Like, it was, it was.
You were solid.
Yeah, like from nowhere. So I can't, but I'm smart enough to know that the happy gas, it's
going to open that door.
It's going to open that door. So what, how did I get to that decision to be like, listen, give me the gas? So
was it a process?
That's what I'm trying to still sift through.
Okay.
It was 3 years of I don't even want to call it a binge, because you had to stop somewhere if it was a binge. It was a ripper. It was the worst relapse I've ever had. Like I was saying, I've relapsed after 9 months and 6 months, and when you relapse after 5 years, you almost don't feel good enough. Like I can't even stay clean. Like I'm not good enough to have a life. I'm not good enough to be a decent human being. I'm not if everything that you worked for, you literally piss up against the wall in one hit. I remember driving there. I remembered his phone number after 5 years. I don't think that's something you ever forget, though. I remembered.
Do you know what, Rehona? Before we started, we sort of discussed the idea of self-esteem being the topic for what we're going to discuss, and you mentioned again, not feeling good enough, and you spoke about not feeling good enough at school, and sort of going through all of these processes.
Yeah,
it does seem like a theme that's like a common thread throughout your entire life, just not really having a lot of self-esteem, eh?
Or ever feeling good enough.
Yeah,
like it doesn't matter. Like it almost. Like,
I relate to it strongly, like really strong. Like, I mean, I've mentioned a couple of times I got ADD, right? And I mean, I know going through school was fucking horrifying for me. Constantly failing. I mean, in standard 7, we were talking about that. One of the teachers she'd split the class up into rows. And there was like the clever row, and then the next clever row, and then I was at the very front of the stupid row, okay? And it's like ADD kids get criticized on average, apparently, from what I've heard, the statistic is 70 times a day, okay?
Whoa.
Which is a lot. I mean,
That's
it's like,
terrible.
Constantly being told you're not good enough,
Yeah.
So I relate to that, eh?
But what did the therapist write about core beliefs? So, and no matter how clean I get, or how well I'm doing, or how much I've grown or healed or anything, that core belief kind of always comes up. Always that not good enough, not perfect enough, not the best of, not doing it at 100%. And I'm full of shit like that as well. Like, if you're going to do a job for me and you're going to half job it, rather tell me that you're going to fucking half job it than give it to me. I'll do it properly, because then I'm somewhat irritated. Like, it's not like, don't half job shit.
That's interesting. So like having these high expectations for yourself,
You like very
and then projecting that onto other people.
Yes.
Okay.
And not even with knowing how much it hurts and how cuck it is living like that. I still do it.
Okay.
It's a lot of work.
What?
I find being like constantly perfectionist. Like, if I screw up my routine in the morning, like, God help me if I shampoo my hair before I brush my teeth, then it's like, oh shit. So I like the routine. If I keep into a good routine, my emotions kind of manage a little bit better. I'm not so all over the place.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
so does uncertainty obviously make you very anxious?
and yeah. I like to know what's happening. I have schedules, I have plans, I have calendars, I have to-do lists, I like organization, I like my stuff neat and tidy. I don't like things to be dirty. I don't know if there's another word for it, but my desk's always neat.
Disorderly.
I don't like it.
Okay.
Chaos. I cause chaos, but I don't like it. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like that feeling of uncomfortableness it puts inside of me. Yeah.
Yet you'll go and smoke crack and cause all the mayhem that you possibly can.
Totally, yeah. But it's the same with the perfectionism.
Okay.
Like, that core belief inside me, like, I will project it onto you because that's what I expect. And same with the chaos. I will go and cause it. I will wreck through people's lives. I will destroy my family. I will hurt people and not. And I think because of the crack, I actually don't give a shit. Like, it's almost like a break for me. So
I think it's hard being a drug addict. It's not like, I think it's harder being a family member of a drug addict. Don't get me wrong, but it's like I don't know if not caring is the right thing to say. I think it's like an uncontrollable compulsion. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I mean,
it does it.
I know you and your family, and I know you care about your family.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
You know, and I know you can. I mean, any person can get intoxicated, but there's gonna be a moment where they're gonna be like lucid at some point within like a day or 7, and there's gonna be like, oh, geez, there's gonna be remorse, and there's gonna be like shame and guilt.
I used to smoke that shame and guilt away.
Yeah.
I remember when I relapsed after the 5 years, that I don't think I picked up. I drove off. I smoked it around the block, and by the time I got to the stop street, I'd phone him again. I said, "Don't move. I'll be back there now." And I just kept going, and it felt like that for 3 years. It felt like I was just circling the block in Benoni Town, picking up, stopping, picking up, stopping, and it wasn't like it had been the previous years of my life. It not even the high was nice anymore. It wasn't, I didn't enjoy it anymore. It wasn't like, they say you always chase that first one, but it wasn't even touching sides. It was just numbing. I didn't want to feel. I didn't want to care. I didn't want to know. I just didn't give a shit about myself, my family, anyone, or anything.
Okay.
Ever. Like, I just didn't want to feel pain anymore.
And now you've been sober for a while.
Almost a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between being sober and being in recovery.
Totally.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So how has being in recovery helped you with the self-esteem stuff?
I don't think it has yet. A friend of
Oh, yeah?
mine asked me the other day, who's in the rooms, the AA program. So she was like, when are you going to get your confidence back? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I can feel it. And people think I'm confident. People think I'm like, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very sensitive. And like, we went out on the weekend and I was just watching my friends and I'm like, there's no ways I got my confidence back yet. It's getting better. And the more you heal and the more you stay clean and the more you live a good life, do what's right and heal. And it feels like that core belief kind of lessens the harshness. Like it's not so like overwhelming. It's not the first thing. It like, but on the flip side as well, my ego gets quite ahead of itself quite quickly. Because I can flick back to entitled, spoiled brat real quick.
And you're aware of all of these things, eh? I mean, you're doing the work, okay?
Yeah, daily.
Okay.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to make the same mistakes as I didn't. I don't want to piss 5 years up against the wall again. I don't want to go down that road again because it was fucking painful. It was terrible. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. We were laughing just now about like us healing faster than our family does. I had to put my bulldog down, and my parents were so worried I was going to relapse because of how terrible. I mean, like it was terrible. You know, it was. She was my child, and no, and they were so scared that I was going to relapse, that I think they would have paid the 100K to keep her alive. Like you don't like you. It's not just mom, dad, and bro. Your sister. It's your whole family that gets affected by your selfish, self-absorbed need to numb everything in your life. Which is terrible, and you don't see it when you're doing it. Or I think you do. I think you do see it. You just don't give a shit.
Okay, so being in recovery, I mean, life's gotten better. You seem to be putting in the work. You doing meetings.
Yeah.
Got a community that you sort of connected to.
A friend of mine said, I'm actually I'm battling with that lately. So I don't know how, but I have friends that have made it through the addiction with me that aren't addicts or alcoholics. Well, they kind of are. They should be in a program, but that I've been friends with for years that are still friends with me. And we still all go out and we go for lunches and we end up at the green, or we end up out, and it's bad when I'm the responsible one. And I have to, my bag's with the junkie, my car keys are with the junkie. She's driving us home, and I'm just like, shit. This wouldn't have happened 3 years ago.
Sure.
Yeah, I would have stolen the car, credit card. You would have ended up face down in a field naked. 4 days later, I'll be phoning your mom and be like, I've killed your kid. I've got a car. So I think the one thing that that 5 years gave me it was my life back. And when I literally was dragged back in because I didn't want to stop. I just wanted to die. I was just like, oh God, it was there. Like when it's that bad. It's not even fun. It's you're on your own. It's terrible. It gets to a point where it's just, and it's terrible. I haven't found the word for it yet, but it's an undescribable, disgusting place to be. Where you'd just rather die.
Lonely.
Lonely is still fun. I mean, like when you're smoking crack, you're still talking to the oak in the boot, you know. It's, you know, it's it's something
I hear
else.
you.
Yeah, it's ugh, where the pain overrides the drugs. You can still feel the pain through everything you're trying to use to numb it. Like, then what am I doing here? What the hell? And a friend literally dragged me back in. Tried to save me a couple of times, but it didn't work. And I think you've got to get there. I don't think people could bend over and sing the Corsi Lisicalele through their asses. There was no ways I was stopping. There was no ways. Until I'd gotten to that place where the pain was louder than the crack. I don't think I would have stopped. And then it wasn't just the crack and the heroin. It was a string of meds from mental wellness. And I was using the syringe for the methadone, not the heroin anymore. So apparently the cocktail I should have been dead. I was like, I was trying. I think it wasn't working. It was like, shoulda, coulda. Apparently cockroaches don't die. My dad's words.
So
even COVID would have killed me.
So listen, so being in recovery, like I know you,
Yeah.
okay, and you asked me if you could borrow my book, and I was like, my fucking book back. But I mean, I think I can trust you to give me my book back, right? Like,
I know where you live.
Like, yeah, and I've seen you go through some of your process. I've been like somewhat of a witness to it, and I think I think you've done well, hey, I really do, and
Thank you.
no, you really have, and
Well, you've seen me at my worst.
yeah, and
Jeez, like.
like it was very sad, eh, Rehona? I must it was terrible. I think for everybody concerned, eh?
But I couldn't see it. I remember you. I
No, I
remember,
think you could see it. Eh? You could see it.
but I didn't care.
Okay.
Like, it's one thing seeing something. It's like I can acknowledge it, something, but to feel it when it lands for me, like I can be like, yo, I accept shit and woohoo. But until that acceptance feeling lands for me and it hits different, it sits different.
I know what you mean.
Like
Yeah.
I can talk a good talk. I'm a junkie. I can talk and I can smooth everything over and I can say all the right things. But if it doesn't, land for me, I don't think, maybe I did care, but I didn't.
I know what you mean.
It was. I just wanted to, and I mean, like I said, the last time we were sitting across a table like this together, I think you were about to rip your hair out and throw you off the balcony. Like, I don't know what to do with this shit show anymore. Like, not even Notebook will take you. I'm out.
Listen, what was your bulldog's name?
Lily.
Lily.
Yeah.
Okay. And what did she just get you old?
No, she had a degenerative disease from puppy, from a baby.
Okay.
And her discs squished her spinal cord and paralyzed her.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm gonna cry.
Jeez. Okay.
It was quick.
And you stayed clean despite all of that tragedy, eh?
That was every morning she used to every morning she used to come sit with me and would watch ENCA and I'd have a smoke and a cup of coffee and I'd have to tickle her tits. And then the Monday morning she kind of dragged herself over and I was like, maybe she's a bulldog, she's being lazy, she's spoiled, she wants me to, typical. And something I knew, I don't even know how to explain it. Like I haven't been able to connect to a lot of emotions in this last year. I think I've only cried twice, which is a thing for me. Because then I'm connecting to things where I'm not disconnecting from any emotion, or I can relate to it, or it hurts. Where a lot of stuff hadn't stuff that was supposed to be hurting in the last couple just wasn't. So there was no connection. When Lily dragged herself over that morning, I was like, something's not right. And I just knew. I didn't know how I knew, but I knew I was going to have to put her down. I hadn't spoken to the vet yet. We didn't know anything. So by the time she'd climbed off the bed, she was completely, like, her legs weren't working, her back legs weren't working at all. So I ubbered her to the patio, and we made a wee, and we phoned the vet, and he was like, listen, take her straight, because he knows her history. So and it's a bulldog. I mean, he laughs. He's like, this is the reason us vets stay in business, is because of bulldogs. Yeah, they should come with medical aid. But anyway, so take her straight to Bryanston. So took her straight to Bryanston. Yeah, they're like really snooty on that side. It's like, not even the dog looks at you there. I mean, like, it's in a cone and it still thinks it's cooler than you. I was like, Lily, don't look. My sister and I are like plebs in the car from Benoni. So we sent her in. They done MRIs and X-rays and all that, radiology and everything. Got a second opinion, and we picked her up. And apparently it was a 50% chance she was going to make it, but with being a bulldog, even less, because they're not good with anesthetics and stuff like that. And our vet phoned them, and he phoned us back and was like, "Listen, I love Lily, but she's not going to be happy. It's not
gonna work out."
Yeah. So brought her home, but I'd known what the Monday night I said to my dad, she comes home, she dies here, we bury her here. I mean, she's buried under a tree because she needs shade because she's a fatty. And I put a cigarette in so that she knows it's me. I'm still there, Stuyvesant, on her blankie, and I can still see, I know where she is. But I knew that on Monday. I said to my dad on Monday, this is what we're doing. It was the first, I mean, like my dad couldn't make, she was as much mine as she was my dad's. My dad couldn't, I don't know, but he let me make the decision. It was probably one of the weirdest weeks I've had sober my entire life. Like, if there's one week I will always remember, it's that one.
Yeah.
And then life doesn't stop because you're in pain. I think it actually spins faster then. I mean, we had work issues. They wanted me to be a witness. I was like, I don't know if that's such a good idea. So we had arbitrators and auditors and actuaries, and
So I think in the fellowships they call it high class problems.
Yeah, first world
So
problems.
your first world problems.
Yeah.
So you're not like kind of, it's no longer a problem of kind of like, where am I going to get my next hit from, or
Well,
it's like now you got the problem of people trusting you to be a witness on behalf of,
and to put your dog down in the same week, without relapsing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said to my sister and I were driving to Bryanston, and she was like, "Listen, this is a thing." Like the entire, not only our parents, everybody is worried. And I'm like, "Listen, I can't tell you. I'm not going to think it. I can't tell you because I promised that shit before. Don't worry, I'm cured. I'm finished. It'll never happen again." 5 years down the line, I'm sitting at the dentist phoning my crack dealer. So, like, I've made those promises before. So, I don't like talking about, don't like making those kind of promises anymore. So, I said to her straight, I'm like, listen, I don't know if it's going to come back into my head. I've walked past my mother's mints before and it smelled like crack. Like shit like that. Like, so I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, it's never hit, crossed my mind before. But it feels, and I don't know if I don't know if I would have. It didn't, and that's the weird part. It didn't cross my mind in the beginning when I knew something was wrong. I was like, God, how am I going to get through this? Am I is it too soon? I'm not clean long enough. Have I worked the program enough? Have I spoken to my sponsor? Am I doing enough meetings? Kind of panicky. Am I the perfectionist, like shit. Where the loopholes? Because I'm the queen of a loophole. I can find me a loophole in the Bible, in the big book, in any. I can find me a loophole. So, like, were all the loopholes closed? And almost, they call it like, I don't know what they call it. It's a pink cloud that popped. So
Okay.
like the reality, like life just hit instantly over in 1 week. And I remember, and as much as I hate the fact that I did relapse, I can remember I think I was 18 months clean the last time, when that pink cloud popped, like, that cotton cuddly feeling, that all mushy, that all goes away. Like, surprise, bitch, this is what, this is what this is about. You don't get to live wrapped up in cotton wool for forever. I did I think I was quite demanding about that,
I think that's cool. I think you went through some hardcore stuff that was like emotionally challenging, and you got through to the other side without using. And you were, I mean, to take it a step further, you were responsible about things, and you did the right. You things were okay.
I wanted to be there for my family, like like I didn't want to be the problem. Like I didn't like and.
Well, I mean isn't that isn't that the point?
Yeah.
Stop thinking about ourselves and start thinking about others.
Eh? Yeah. Get out of my own way. In the program, they very much service. I mean, like, if you have a sexual dream, you need to do service. Like anything that happens in recovery, the more service you're in, the better for you. And I battle quite a bit with service. I'm not really the...
I thought you were going to say with the sexual dreams.
Oh, God. I know what page that's on.
Come on, man.
Seriously, how much can I cut out? I was like clapping all fucking day.
Edit this whole thing.
Don't have enough fucking tippings. Yeah, like, you have to, service for everything. And I'm not really the servicey type. I mean, like, we've been, like, I've been really spoiled. I've been really, really lucky. So to do service for me is a bit of an arse ache. It's hard for me to do. But I know it works. I know it's, when I'm stuck up in my head, and I can get there real quick, I mean, like, I can literally do the Lord's Prayer in the shower and get out, and by the time I'm sitting at my dressing table blow drying my hair, I've planned 3 murders already in our dam, So it's like, I can get up into my head real quick. But the minute I do get out of my own way, and bake cookies, cupcakes for the meeting, or clean up the cups, or put the chairs away, or I focused a lot of the service on my family this time. I obviously do with the meetings and stuff, with service and stuff, but a lot more on my family, because I'd be dead if it wasn't for them. Like, the least I can do is whatever, do whatever I need to do at home before, just to do what's right, like give back. I don't know if it's giving back or, I'd be dead if it wasn't for them. Let's be serious.
All right, okay. Thanks very much for joining us. I really appreciate you coming through and doing this. And then we'll do it again soon. Thanks, Rehona. Cool.